I said at the start that suppliers are starting to dob in supermarkets. This story doesn't give us the exact numbers, but it's fairly obvious what's happening is that suppliers are saying, we know how much we sell you our product for, and
Pat,
we see,
Pat,
what?
this is obviously a countdown, and I can see a rat in this picture. Do you see the rat? Do you see the rat, chat? Do you? I'm not even joking. There is a rat in this picture of countdown.
Where? What are you saying? Calling Simon Dello a rat? What is
just above Simon Dello's head?
Or you? Ah, look at you.
Hey!
Technically a mouse. Technically,
they should really pull that market.
Technically a mouse. So we don't get numbers in this, but it's fairly obvious that I thought you were going to say this one, that mouse there. See that one there? You're being cheeky.
2 mice. It's close it down.
I can play the comedy role as well.
No, this is very good. Very good.
Thank you. So thank you for interrupting my flow, my rhythm, my pattern.
I had to.
So we don't get the numbers, but it's fairly obvious that the suppliers are saying, we know what we sell it to the shops for, and we can see what they're selling it for. This is called price gouging or routing. And the poor old head of Woolworths, the poor guy, he just can't handle a bit of pressure. This interview is obviously coming out later in the week, but we get a little preview.
The boss of Woolworths in Australia and New Zealand has walked out of a heated interview about allegations of price gouging. It was part of an investigation by ABC's Four Corners, which claims the biggest supermarket chains are profiting from rising prices. Australia correspondent Aziz Al-Safin reports.
The boss of one of the largest supermarket chains.
Yeah, no, I think I'm done, guys. I do this with good intent.
During a grilling over price gouging.
He said, I did this with good intent. Like, I don't know if you're aware of how it works in a thing. There's no deal signed by an interviewer if they're doing their job properly. You come in for an interview, they ask you, I did it in good intent. What were you expecting? A bit of a back slap because you turned up? It's not how it works, love.
Claims.
You're walking out, really? No. Can we just talk through Brad for a sec?
But consumers are fed up.
This just cost me almost $400. This is an absolute joke.
And so are suppliers, who are blowing the lid on what they say are ruthless tactics.
It's absolutely ridiculous. The margins that they make, the tactics that they deploy.
This supplier, who wanted to remain unidentified, says he's at the mercy of the big supermarkets. Coles too, confronted by leaked emails, alleging it's taking advantage of recent product price rises.
He says that's the definition of price gouging. Is that the case?
We don't engage in practices like that.
The investigation by the ABC.
Do you believe that hostage video? Did that look like I'll blink when I blink 3 times? When I blink 3 times, that means send the SAS through the door, please, because I'm unsafe.
We don't engage in practices like that.
The investigation by the ABC claims to have evidence Woolworths uses similar tactics, hitting customers in a cost of living crisis. Now, we asked Woolworths, which owns Countdown, how concerned Kiwis should be about its pricing practices. It said that it worked with the New Zealand Grocery Commissioner and complied with the new supply code. It strives to offer customers good value whilst also looking after its suppliers.
Compared to Australia, New Zealand's supermarket sector is even more concentrated. So Foodstuffs and Woolworths controls 80% of the market. That means that competition is really low, and in turn, historically, it's been proven that the prices that shoppers have been paying is far too high.
All eyes will be on tomorrow as Woolworths announces its half-yearly profits. And come next month, Australia's big 4 supermarkets face a Senate inquiry. Walkouts there harder as they face tough questions over pricing practices. Aziz Al-Safin, One News, Sydney.
There you go. So, as I said, it's a bit of a quickie. I actually thought when I saw the heading, I thought it would be something about the rats. Like, I thought that's what it would be about, rats and mice, but that was obviously the Australian, and so it was more about, like I said, they didn't give us numbers, but it's fairly obvious to see that the suppliers are saying they're ripping off the public because we know what the price difference is, Chewy.
And look, if that's happening in Australia, it is 100% happening here. 100%. As I said, our supermarket market is more concentrated, and the suppliers have even less choice of who they deal with. and this is something I've said all along when we're talking about the supermarkets, they are gouging the consumer and they're gouging the supplier. They're clipping the ticket on both fucking ends to their benefit. And our previous government had fired a shot across their bow of like, pull your head in or we're going to regulate. Now they've got a government that absolutely won't regulate. Absolutely won't, unless there's such an unsustainable public outcry. And if this government that said that it was 100% focused on the cost of living, the single biggest thing that taxpayers will notice is their supermarket bills going down. And I'd love to see it if the government just came in and goes, okay, foodstuffs, Woolies, whatever, you need to lose 1 out of every 3 supermarkets. You need to sell them to us, and we're letting someone else in. We're giving them your supermarkets because you won't do it. We've done it before. We did it to Telecom.
Yeah.
We broke them up because they had an unjustifiable stranglehold on the telecommunications landscape in New Zealand. And we've talked about supermarkets for so fucking long and nothing has really shifted the needle.
Yeah.
And Woolworths is just having an absolute nightmare at the moment.
Yep.
They've got rats and mice in 2 South Island supermarkets to the point where they've closed them down. They've got potentially a massive invasion of privacy in their new loyalty card, tracking voice, facial, and number plate details, so you can save a couple of bucks on a bag of Arnott's shapes. What the fuck?
I like it how you've got a product in the forefront of your mind to then say, this is what the savings are going to be. Arnott's shapes. That's what it's going to be.
I love chicken crimpies, and that will get me to give away my facial, voice, and number plate details. Save some money on some chicken crimpies, I'll be honest.